Athletes from all over the world share a remarkable bond. No matter where they come from or which sports they dedicate themselves to, they are all driven by a powerful why. For most, it's not about fame or wealth. Only a rare few reach that level. Instead, they are fueled by a deep passion for their sport, a love for discipline, and an unending desire to push their own limits. From early mornings to grueling workouts and countless sacrifices, athletes are guided by an inner drive, a commitment to excellence that goes beyond personal gain. They don't just compete, they inspire, representing dedication, resilience, and an unbreakable spirit to be at their best. This is shared why connects them, creating a global community of individuals who break records, push boundaries, and show that greatness happens when passion meets purpose.
All right, Shana. Thank you so much for joining in this podcast, Olympians Diary. I'm so happy to have you because you are the future. You're the future of France. And I was curious to know about your life, how you have become an athlete, and what's your vision for the future, what you want to do. So, for those who don't know you, could you tell us a little bit more about you? Where are you coming from?
Okay, first, thank you so much for having me today. So my name is Shana Grebo. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Rennes in Brittany. My mom is from Brittany and my dad is from Ivory Coast. So I've been growing up in a mixed family with one big sister and one little brother. I've been in Rennes my whole life since until 2021 when I went to the USA for college. I discovered track when I was 10 years old after trying many sports like football, basketball, gymnastics, swimming. So I've tried all of that, but I was not really talented and I was not really passionate about any of all of those sports. So when I was 10, I won this district race around where I actually live in Rennes. And after that, I won this wild card so I could go for 1 year in uh, a track club in my city. And so I never stopped. I was basically more in long distance, like 1K and cross country. But as far as I was going like growing up, sorry, I was more in like sprints and hurdles.
Amazing. So today you are specialized in the 400 meters hurdles. What
Yes.
what made you decide to go to that heavy, difficult, hard, challenging field in the track?
To be honest, when I was 16, the way for me to qualify at U20s, U18 um, was easiest on the 400 hurdles. So this is how I started
Okay.
because I was more a 400 girl before. And my coach was like, "Oh, you should try hurdles because you like hurdling. So let's try to do some 200 hurdles at practice and then 300s." And then at some meets, I was like, "Okay, let's try 400 hurdles." And I finally liked it. But at the beginning, I was not really into it because I really love the open 400.
All right. That's an interesting transition because I have the experience of a very hard trainings like 400. It's tough. You really go to the edge and mentally, physically. But when you add the hurdles, I find it's even tougher. But what do you think about it? What's your perspective on the difference between running 400 and 400 meters hurdles?
I agree because it's hard and you have to find the good rhythm. And for me, it's not evident at every races. So I like the four hurdles because you have something to reach out. You always have like another hurdle and you can still adjust your pattern. So you can I don't know. It's more challenging. So I agree it's more difficult because it adds more, I don't know, like cerebral thing, like it's a
Thematic.
little more technical, yes, but at the same time, you have a little more adrenaline than the open court.
So what kind of 400 meters hurdles are you? Like we always talk about Femkebal. I live in the Netherlands. My kids are half Dutch, and everybody is into Femkebal. And we know she has that very metronome way of running. Everything is precisely calculated, and if not, then she's in big trouble. So, how do you see your 400 meters hurdles mentally? How do you take it?
So to me, the thing is, I'm not a huge hurdle technique person. So I'm like good with like both legs, but I'm not like amazing on the technical side. But I'm pretty fast in the open events.
Hmm.
Maybe compared to, I have like a good record in the 200 meters, in the 60. So this is helping me more for my lap, so I can go fast.
Yeah.
But I sometimes struggle to find a very metronomic, if I can tell,
Mhm.
uh, rhythm between the hurdles. So that would be a way for me to progress.
Interesting. Really. So you are part of the best French 400 meters runners, right? How many people run faster than you in France?
Maybe like two, three. I don't know. It depends on the years, but I'm usually in the top like four, five, I would say.
And in the Olympics of Paris, you've made it. You
Yes.
were part of the team. Can you describe this experience of running the Olympics in France at home, but also against all these incredible international athletes?
Yeah. So to me, Paris Olympic Games was a little bittersweet
Hmm.
experience because the way to make it was very long and very hard. Um, so I made my qualifying time at the very, very last day during French nationals.
Yes.
So it was stressful until the end, but when you made it at the end, you're like so happy.
Mhm.
But waiting until the end of June was a long journey.
Yes.
But yes, it was long, but it
So
was
what
very fun.
happened? What was the scenario? Because for many people, they don't really realize that as French athletes, actually, the moment we are sure to be qualified is at the French, at the nationals. But I
Yes.
think it's also in the USA, let's say, they also like if you make it there, then you get your tickets. But
Mhm.
there's more than this, right? For French athletes, it's not only to make it at the nationals, you also have to prove during all the season that you have a good track records of being consistent, and
Exactly.
then they can rely on you because you were selected individually and collectively, right? For both of them
For the relay, yes.
for the relay. So you said that you were coming from you have a bike culture. You are French, and your father is from Ivory Coast. They are great athletes in Ivory Coast. Of course, this genetical blueprint is just amazing. What do you think about being raised in France with both culture? Did you ever feel like a duality or challenges around that mixed culture?
So unfortunately, I've been in Ivory Coast only once in my life.
Mm.
So I did not grow up with all my cousins, all my uncles, aunts. So I wish I was able to go a little more so I could know more about my culture, even if my dad is talking about Ivory Coast a lot. But I feel like running for France made more sense to me
Mhm.
than running for Ivory Coast, and I don't feel like there is a competition between the my two origins. But yeah, I just wish I knew more about my Ivorian, oops, sorry,
Right.
side.
Do
Um,
you know from your father maybe where they're coming from, his people, or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is ethnic
And
what is particular with the ethnic? Do you have like a little bit of knowledge about your ancestry, African ancestry?
honestly, not that much. But the good thing we were talking about yesterday at dinner is that we're going this winter to Ivory Coast.
Amazing.
So that's yeah, that's a good news. We're going in December with my family. But no, honestly, some of my aunts and cousins are in France, but the one who are in Ivory Coast, I saw them once in my life, and otherwise we chat on Instagram, but it's not the same.
Yes,
So
I understand. But I'm sure there is a big group of people. It's
yes,
like a whole village.
yeah, because my dad has mm, 12 siblings.
Oh, yes. So
Yeah,
you were
so I
just
have a huge
you're one
family.
tree in the forests.
Exactly, like I have so many
Yeah,
cousins.
yeah. That's interesting. So when you represent France, you don't you yeah you feel like you carry both heritage, right? And this is
Exactly.
something that is
Yeah, and from Ivory Coast, they were all watching Olympic Games, sending me pictures of their television or laptops when
yes,
I was running. So they're all like supporting me, no matter if I'm wearing the Ivorian jersey or French jersey. They're rooting for me.
that's amazing. All right. So I will.
Yeah, so exactly, it's hard because you have to show a very good shape during the whole season. We also went to the Bahamas for World 4x4, I mean World's Relay Championship.
Mhm.
So it's also a time where when you can show how good you are for the team and do the best for the team. So you have many, many steps until the national championship. So I got second at national championship, but I got the qualifying mark, so I was sure that I was about to go. But as you said, you're not officially sure until it's not official on the website. So you're still waiting and a little scared, but it was fine because we were only two on the 400 hurdles. When
Yes,
some people are like four or five in their events, it's more stressful.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, this whole part was stressful, and the problem for me was that the day after I made the qualifying mark, I got very sick. I
Oh,
got yes, I got how to say this? I don't remember the name. A infection, kidney
kidney
infection.
infection. Okay. Whoa.
Yes, and it was bad because at first I thought it was nothing very concerning.
Yeah.
So I just let the thing,
Go.
I didn't do anything for
Yes.
3 or 4 days, but then it got worse. So the last few weeks for Olympics to me were very hard because I had to take a break, I had to go to the hospital. It was just hard and complicated.
I
So
got. But they kept you
yes,
on the team. They didn't remove you from the team.
no, no, no. No, but it was just hard. And when I finally got to the Olympic Games, I was just exhausted. I was just tired. And
Oh.
mentally and emotionally, I was just.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
it was a good time, but not
So
the best time.
there is a context to the story, right? That's why you say you have this bittersweet, because I know when you suddenly have to stop you have had trained very hard, you were like in
Yeah.
top of your shape, and suddenly you have the kidney infection. So then
Yeah.
you went back down, like all the
Yes.
work, you went back very down. So actually the team trusted you, you made it to the team, but you felt like your energy was a little bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you don't want to show that you're tired because you're at Olympic Games. So I was like, no, I'm okay, I'm okay. So I was making everything to look good because when you're with the team, you don't want to be the one who is sick or who is
Weak.
whatever. You just want to show that you're in shape and you're good and you're going to be good for the team. And so you're trying so hard mentally to be here, but
Mm.
at the same time, it's hard because I don't know. It's just complete. It was a complicated time, and I had to get surgery after Olympics in September.
Oh, what? So you did the kidney surgery?
No, it was not kidney surgery. I got another like issue more in my ovaries, so I had to get surgery.
All right, that's a journey.
Yeah. So
Did you know about that before the Olympics? Like you said, okay, I'm going to do it after the Olympics. It's possible.
yeah,
So it means that you have been running under pressure, pain, uncertainties,
yeah,
everything in the same time.
yes.
How did you go with that? Like mentally, how did you compartment so
Uh,
emotions
I
that
was I was in the denial. Sorry, in the denial. I
okay.
was I was trying to tell myself, okay, you're at the Olympics, do your best, and try to forget everything about medical and uh, disease and things like this. So yes.
So your mind took over everything. Like
Mhm.
you told your brain, like just follow my leads.
Exactly.
That's it. Amazing. Wow. And so the final outcome of the Olympics, I think you did great, you know. So why do you feel like it's still bittersweet? Do you think like collectively the team could have done better?
No, I think no, I think on the performance side, for the 4x4, it was really good.
Hmm.
We're not on the podium, but the teams in front of us were better this day, and we did the best. I mean, we've never done better than this. So,
Ever.
some days
Yes.
you're just at your best, but some people are better than you.
Yeah.
So, to me, the team did great, and I don't think we could have done much, much better. The 400 hurdle side could have been a little better on my part. I could have probably made the final if I was better in the semi. So I know that some technical things were not perfect during the semifinal. Um, and otherwise,
Oh, so
uh,
you
it's more about the experience because you're how do you say this? Like I was not mentally completely free
mm,
because I knew some part of my body were hurting and it
mhm.
was a little stressful.
Yes.
So I just wish I didn't have to take care of this part and enjoy 100% the Olympics. But it was more like, okay, enjoy 70% and being stressful about the body part like 30%.
Mhm.
So this is more what I'm saying when I say bittersweet. Like the experience was amazing. I met amazing people. The Olympic Village was amazing. My family was there because Rennes is only an hour and a half away from Paris. So it was very close, and I know this will never happen again because that was in my country, and I was very proud of wearing the French jersey during Olympics.
Mhm.
So no, the experience was great, but if I wouldn't have those medical issues, it would have been better.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not, maybe not.
So you just explained that there has been a strategic selection of the players, right? For the one who ran the series, and then there was three races, right? Series semifinals of two. I
For
forgot.
the relay,
Yes, for the relay.
yes, just no, just semi-final and
Yes,
final.
the final.
Just two.
So the team leader selected you for the first race, and then the final not.
Yes. Yeah. For the relay, yes.
So how do you feel about that? Do you because it's something that many people can learn from, you know, like when you're part of a team,
Yeah.
and it's also what we find in the collective sports dynamics, you know, like in basketball or football, some players are sitting in the bank and then sometimes they go on the track. How did you feel about that?
Um, I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yeah,
Like being part of the semi and the final?
yes,
Ah, okay. They're just trying because it's Olympic Games, so all the teams are really good, well prepared.
yes,
So I was happy to run both. That
yes,
means to have confidence in myself.
yes.
So I was happy to help the team to make it through the final,
Hmm.
uh, run the best as I can. But for sure, if you have a team like the Netherlands, for example, or the USA, they have many, many girls that can run 50 seconds or less,
Oh, yes,
and that's very helpful. So if they have more people, okay, they're gonna put the team that's good to make it through the final and then put the very, very best in the final. But
yes,
to me, they made the choice they have like confidence in. So
that's
I was
amazing.
happy to be part of this.
Yes, it's very interesting. I always like to navigate between like um, from the track to the performance world, where
Yes.
people are also leaders and they're working with teams and they have to navigate all these things, and the metaphor from sports is always interesting to visualize, all these dynamics. Um, as a 400 meters hurdle runner, I want to talk about like what are the key factors for you to perform at your best. I always introduce the notion of mental health, physical health, nutritional health. We know that athletes are really at the pinnacle on these fields. They have a great mastery on these three pillars. But you, from your perspective, how do you work on these three things? What do you do in particular? For example, for mental health, what is your routine to to keep mentally focused, to maybe to understand how to run your race? Yeah, can you run us throughout like a day in your life before you go to train, when you are training, when you go back home? So let's
Um,
start, let's start with the mental health routine.
yes. To me, the very like the most important part, like you said, is take care of your mental. So I work with mental preparator, mental coach,
Mental coach, yeah.
since 2018, I think. So he's based in Rennes. So I've been working in him since a while, so he knows me very, very well, and he can give me exercises so I can, before a race, keep breathing. I remember at Olympics, the call room was very stressful,
The
and
core room. Let's
like,
get to that story. How was your core room experience and how did you use everything you have learned in mental preparation?
so at Olympics, my practices before the race were all terrible. I couldn't go over hurdles. My starts were bad. Everything was a disaster. So when I got to the call room, I'm like, okay, I have 40 minutes to rest and keep breathing. So I was trying to practice the exercise we worked with my mental coach. So it was more, okay, try to decompress before the race because even if it's in 40 minutes, it's not right now. So you have 40 minutes to chill. So I was doing, those long deep breaths and just some things to make your heart go a little slower because I was a little stressed.
Yeah. And
And the
mentally,
girl,
what was your, like, did you say affirmations? What were you telling to yourself?
yeah, yes, I was telling myself, well, you've never done Olympic Games, but you've done 400 hurdles before. So let's do the same thing as you know. You don't have to do anything special.
Mm.
Just, let the Stade de France do something special on yourself. But on the technical part, the running part, it was funny because you try to tell yourself, oh, you got this, it's gonna be so, you know it, but you don't know. When you've never done Olympics, you actually don't know what's gonna happen. But let's try to say to yourself, okay, well, I know what I've been training on, I know what I've been working on, so let's just do what I know, and let's see. Because there is nothing you can do 40 minutes before the race. Like you're not gonna do something different, or, you know, you're not gonna do a new
And
400 hurdles.
yes, that's the story, like the athlete who's doing his race during 40
Yes.
minutes in the car room.
Yeah.
Just
I've done this
burn out.
in my bed before before the race. I was thinking about the race a lot, but then I'm trying to switch off my brain because, you know, making the race in your head 24 hours before is not going to do anything.
Really, yeah.
And then you cannot sleep because you're way too excited and you have too much adrenaline. So
Yeah.
that's not a great part.
How did,
So yeah,
sorry.
sorry.
Go,
No,
go.
no, no. Go ahead. No, I was just saying that for my routine before the race, so try to decompress and breathe and just try to slowly turn my brain off was a little helpful.
Hmm. How did you feel about your environment? Like athletes in front of you, is was a special game playing? Like, oh, she's so great. Look at that. I don't know how I'm gonna race against that women. Or how did you
Yeah.
cope with that? Because many people don't realize that the call is already a competition with it itself, and
Mm.
some athletes are very strong in triggering others at that special moment. But how did you cope with that?
So the two main girls I was running with in the USA were in my qualifying race and my semifinal. So we already knew each other. We were like, oh, hey, like we just run against each other 3 weeks ago. And so it was fine. Like we're not, I mean, I'm friend with one of them. We went on vacation after Olympics. We went to Nice in the south of France. So she's from Canada. And the the other girl is from the USA. So we were just like, oh, let's just do like we do, like help each other to put the bibs on. Do you need something? Yes, okay. Like we were just chill, not like besties, but we were just being normal. So I'm not looking at the others like, oh, I'm gonna hit them. We're just normal, if I can tell.
Okay, so that's fortunate because
Yeah,
it can be a case where they're just your worst enemy and you guys are.
exactly. I don't want to be in this energy.
Yeah,